In Hollywood, some actors become heroes, some become villains. But a rare few become something even more powerful, unforgettable authority figures. And that's exactly who James Tolkan was. With his piercing stare, commanding voice, and strict on-screen presence, Tolkan became one of the most recognizable faces in American cinema, even if many didn't always know his name. From calling students slackers in Back to the Future to commanding elite pilots in Top Gun, he built a legacy that stretched across decades. But behind the tough exterior was a man of discipline, struggle, resilience, and quiet dedication. Today, we're diving deep into his full life story, from his early beginnings to his rise in Hollywood, and finally, to his passing in 2026. James Stewart Tolkan was born on June 20th, 1931, in Calumet, Michigan. To understand his personality, you have to understand the time he was born into. The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression, and families were living simple, disciplined lives. Entertainment wasn't a luxury survival, and stability came first. Tolkan grew up in a working-class environment where hard work wasn't optional, it was expected. From a young age, he showed signs of determination. He wasn't the kind of child who avoided challenges. Instead, he leaned into them. He was especially interested in sports, particularly football. Football taught him physical toughness, team discipline, mental focus, and interestingly, those same traits later defined his acting style. People who knew him in his younger years often described him as serious, focused, and driven, not someone chasing attention, but someone building strength. As he reached adulthood, Tolkan made a bold decision. He joined the United States Navy. This wasn't just a career move. It was a commitment to discipline, service, and responsibility. Military life is not easy. It demands strict routines, emotional control, physical endurance. And Tolkan embraced all of it. These experiences shaped him deeply. The way he later played strict commanders and authority figures was not just acting, it was lived experience. But life took an unexpected turn. During his service, Tolkan developed a heart-related medical condition. And because of that, he was forced to leave the Navy earlier than he had planned. For a young man with discipline and purpose, this was a difficult moment. It could have broken him, but instead, it redirected him. After leaving the military, Tolkan began searching for a new path. That path led him to the University of Iowa, where he studied drama. Now here's the interesting part. He didn't enter acting for fame. He entered it for expression and discipline. Acting gave him a new way to channel his intensity, his control, his understanding of human behavior. After graduating, he moved to New York City, the heart of serious acting. There, he trained under two legendary figures, Stella Adler, Lee Strasberg. These weren't just teachers, they were masters of the craft. They taught him emotional realism, character depth, method acting techniques, and Tolkan absorbed everything. New York life was brutal. No money, no fame, no guarantees. Tolkan worked as a busboy and took on small jobs just to survive. There were days filled with rejection, audition after audition, and nothing. But he didn't quit. This is what separates dreamers from professionals. He treated acting like a responsibility, not a hobby. And slowly, things began to change. Tolkan began landing small roles in television during the 1960s. They weren't big roles, but they were important, because each role built his confidence, improved his skill, got him noticed. He didn't try to be the hero. Instead, he became something more powerful, a character actor, someone who may not be the main focus, but leaves a lasting impact. His breakthrough came when he appeared in Serpico alongside Al Pacino. This was a serious film, and it gave him credibility. Then came the Amityville Horror, War Games. Now, people were starting to recognize him, not by name yet, but by presence. When he appeared in Back to the Future, everything changed. His role as Vice Principal Strickland was short compared to others, but it was powerful. His strict attitude, his iconic dialogue, slacker, it became one of the most memorable character moments in film history. He returned in Back to the Future Part 2. Back to the Future Part 3. In Top Gun, Tolkan once again proved his strength. Working alongside Tom Cruise, he played Commander Stinger. His presence added authority and realism. Tolkan was often cast as strict authority figures, but instead of resisting it, he mastered it because he understood something powerful. Consistency creates identity, and his identity became unforgettable. Off-screen, Tolkan was calm and private. He married Parmalee Wells, and their long-lasting marriage showed stability rarely seen in Hollywood. He valued loyalty, privacy, simplicity. He also supported animal welfare causes. As time passed, Tolkan slowly stepped away from acting, but his legacy remained strong. Fans continued to rediscover his work through classic films. James Tolkan passed away on March 26, 2026, at the age of 94 in Saranac Lake, New York. Cause of death, not officially disclosed, but believed to be natural causes related to age. He passed peacefully, leaving behind decades of unforgettable performances. Tolkan wasn't the loudest star, but he was one of the strongest presences in Hollywood. He proved that you don't need to be the main character to be unforgettable. James Tolkan may no longer be with us, but his voice still echoes, his characters still live, and his legacy still inspires. From classrooms to cockpits, from strict principals to commanding officers, he gave us performances that will never fade. So the next time you watch Back to the Future, listen closely, because somewhere in that scene, you'll still hear it. Slacker, rest in peace, James Tolkan, a true legend, never forgotten.